Hello, YouTube. Can you hear me now? Hopefully. Hopefully. Yes. Yes. Okay, so my apologies. Hello, YouTube. It's BirdoPrey5, and welcome to Bed Life for May 14, 2019, the 600th subscriber spectacular. And we are watching, or I've seen yesterday was released, the great Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind, and it is playing behind me, but we've got some subspace interference, so you're not going to see it all that well, but it's there. It's there so we can talk about it. The audio problem was due to the fact that I changed the USB port my microphone was in, and apparently I had to update the Reaper software, which is the software I use to minimize the background noise. So tonight you're going to hear background noise like you haven't heard for several weeks, unfortunately, because it's going to take me. You sound like you're in a PA system. Well, let me see how it sounds, because it's going to take me. You sound like you're in a PA system. That's as good as it's going to get, I think, for tonight, unfortunately. The Reaper software that I use to cancel out the background noise, and it works great, but apparently changing the USB port screwed everything up. I should have thought about it, of course, the one thing you didn't think about, and it comes back to bite me in the butt. Also new, you should see the number 5 down in this corner here somewhere. Yes, I've updated the logo. I went with just a simple bold 5, obviously for BirdoPrey5. So, and if you click it or bring the mouse over it, it turns into a subscribe button. So actually, we're up to 602. Very, very cool. Very cool. So let me get to the comments. And I'm not going to read all of Anti-Trekker counting down. Chief Cook was first tonight at 7:44 p.m. He says hi. Hector says hola, and Mark Andy says second, although he was third. Change over to live chat if you haven't already. I'm on top chat, changing over to live chat. And I lost the first few minutes of chat because I changed over. So the first chat I now have it's from Chief Cook. Hit the damn button. It wasn't that the mic was off. The mic was fine. It was just Reaper. Anti-Trekker says, Bird, that music does not quite fit the fish tank. I know. It'd be better with a space scene. And John DeMarco says, hello, everyone. And Anti-Trekker is yelling mute, 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 mute in caps. And he texted me. Thank you. Hector says, why is the second S capitalized? What S? What are we talking about? Oh, I don't know. The text on the scrolly thing, I see I have a capitalized H because I typed it in real quick. I don't know. I probably should fix that. Chief Cook says, I cannot hear you. Mute. Josh Street, it says, BirdoPrey5, no sound. Okay. The problem why it was taking so long was because I don't know what you were listening to, Mom, but I heard my voice coming from Mom O'Prey's computer. So she's like, it's fine, I can hear you. And I'm like, yeah, what are they, all playing with me? And then I saw just how many people were saying no sound. But I could hear my voice distinctively coming from Mom's computer. So what were you on? A different video?
Yeah, I clicked on before.
So she was on an older.
How many subscribers you had? And I.
Okay, so you had another video playing in the background, a different Bird of Prey 5 video was playing, but you thought the sound was coming through. It took a little to notice that the sound wasn't coming. Not Ryan Johnson says, good thing I can read lips. He's saying how great Kuroga is over and over again. Sci-Fi Guy says, hello, Bird, and turn on your audio. Anti-Trigger says, text. Chief Cook says, no sound. Hector says, Anti-Trigger is a magnificent spammer. Yes. Josh Street says, Bird sent you a how-to EVA on Kerbal Discord. Thank you so much, Josh Street. I saw your other info. I do have Discord open tonight, actually. Again, mute. Not Ryan Johnson says, keep saying how he will destroy all of Kuroga's enemies. Ro Ada says, lip reading test. I'm sorry, Ro. I'm sorry, but we got it going. Chief Cook, Houston, we have a problem. Anti-Trigger says, he looks so confused. Almost like the last look on every Kurogan scientist's face. John DeMarco says maybe he wants to set a new record for a time muted. Mark Andy says someone has to send this to a legitimate lip reader. I was basically saying, hello everyone, it's bed life, blah 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 blah. Everything I said the first time, I just said it. I said it over again. Not Ryan Johnson. Kuroga, we have a problem. Kennewick, Sapienson, congrats on 600. 50% increase in 2 weeks. And with no sound. Bird subverted my expectations. A genius plan for 6,000. Anti-Trigger's best stream ever. Because I was quiet. Josh Reed says, Anti-Trigger, did you bomb Kuroga television stations? Anti-Trigger says, Sassy, well done. I have a treat for you. Oh, Sassy's outside with Mamo Prey right now. Chief Cook says, Anti-Tracker, thing up again. Anti-Tracker EMP'd Kuroga, says Kennewick. Darth Calhoun says, ha, sorry I'm late. Well, Darth, just as well. There was no audio. Chief Cook says, restart the show. I did. Hello, Echo, no. Says, what? Anti-Trigger saying echo. Not Ryan Johnson says no. Chief Cook says yes. Kennewick says hello, Bird. And Not Ryan Johnson says echo. And Darth Calhoun says yes. Mark Andy says your audio is so high-pitched, only Sassy understands. Chief Cook says yes. And then Anti-Trigger says you sounded like you're in a PA system. Josh Street says Bird is still muted. And then John DeMarco says we have sound. Sci-Fi Guy says 605 subs? I'm only seeing 602. But who knows? Tiki of Doom says Kapla, Tiki of Doom. Kennewick Sapien says, hey, Mama Bird, we can hear her eating. I don't know if she was eating. Maybe she was putting dishes away, I believe. John DeMarco says, congrats on 600, Bert. Thank you so much. Anti-Trigger says 599 subs, just unsubbed due to lack of audio. Not Ryan Johnson says congrats on 605 subscribers. Thank you, Not Ryan Johnson. Chief Cook says I saw it last night. Not Ryan Johnson says subspace interference. That's Klingon tech for you. Chief Cook says white noise. Anti-Trigger claim blaming it on Kuroga tech. Mark Andy says any USB port in a storm. Sci-Fi Guy says hello to Mamo Prey. Josh Street says blame the moving on the mic when it was real Sassy on Anti-Tracker's plans to take over Kuroga. Chief Cook says cut the green screen. Cut the green screen? What's wrong with the green screen? The green screen's doing pretty damn well. It's much better than the usual thing I've got, than the hologram technology. Chief Cook says frog? What? I'm not getting it. So why the frog, says Anti-Tracker. Anti-Trigger, the frog next to my name is the Gab logo. And the Twitter logo's on the other side. Because I'm on both Gab and Twitter as BirdoPrey5. So that's the Gab logo. Hector says it's good now. Well, good to hear, Hector. Anti-Trigger says, oh sure, skip my comments. The guy that let you know you were muted. Well, you were just counting down 59, 58, 57. And Anti-Trigger says, jerk unsubbed. Hector says, I didn't read you, Anti-Tracker. Chief Cook says, rip Tim Conway. And yes, rip Tim Conway. Yes, rest in peace. The only real way I knew of Tim Conway was from the Simpsons skit. The Simpsons Smile Time Variety Hour spin-off. And they had special guest Tim Conway, and Homer was hiding in the orchestra section, and they were looking for him, and they're like, Marge finds like, why are you hiding? He's like, I'm scared of the ghost. And you're like, what ghost? And Homer said to Marge, you said we were having a special ghost tonight. And Marge said, I said we were having a special guest tonight. And they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Conway. And Tim Conway in Simpsons animation walks on the screen and comes over to Marge, and the family is there. And of course, in the Smile Time Variety Hour spin-off, Lisa was replaced with a high school cheerleader because Lisa didn't want to do the episode, so they used casting to replace her. Anyway, so Homer asks, what's a Tim Conway? And Tim Conway says, oh, about 150 pounds. Ha ha ha, and the joke. And that was the Simpsons Smile Time Variety Hour. Featuring the Waylon Smithers dancers, by the way. So yes, rip Tim Conway, Simpsons alumni, and some other stuff. Hector says Birds logos are having a party in that corner. Yeah, the 5 kinda covers up some of the Twitter logo. Josh Street says, lol, Mama Pray 5 was playing with Bird. Well, she didn't mean to. Anti-Trigger says, so you could not tell that was coming from her computer? Was not what you were saying? Because, it's like 30 seconds behind, so who the hell knew? Anti-Trigger says, yes. Chief Cook says, DS9 documentary, awesome. Yes, Chief Cook, it was awesome. And Anti-Trigger says, there's an interesting tech scale I looked up. Star Trek greater than Star Wars, greater than Battlestar Galactica, greater than The Expanse, greater than the... I see where this is going. Greater than the USA, greater than Turkestan, greater than Russia, greater than India, greater than Uganda, greater than Karoga. Seems legit, says Hector. John Street says anti-tracker pack lids have better ships than Karoga. Well, they do, I'm going to be honest. Karoga has not yet got warp travel. Oh, there's Avery Brooks from one of his previous documentaries, because they could not get him to appear on this new one. I guess he was just too busy. Yeah, anyway, Packlids do have warp tech somehow. Karoga, we are a pre-warp civilization. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend that we've got warp tech. We don't. Neither does Turkestan. Hector says, but Karoga hasn't buyed your weapons, Josh. Gene Norton says, hi from Kentucky. Welcome, Gene Norton. You at the Kentucky Derby? Because I'm sure everybody from Kentucky goes to the Kentucky Derby. I'm kidding, of course. I was just trying to think. Oh, the Simpsons are a northern Kentucky family, according to one episode. Tiki of Doom says Bird is the famous hacker Pepe the Frog. Okay, Pepe the Frog is not a hacker. But then that's not Pepe. That is simply the logo for the social network Gab. Hector says it's not the ships, it's the operators and the pilots. And DJ Odyssey says, hail all, Dorf for life. Sci-Fi Guy says, hail DJ. Let's see. Anti-Trigger says, dang, I did not hear about Tim Conway. Thanks, Chief Cook. You just ruined my day. Josh Street says, hey DJ, and how is Bird's future ex-brother-in-law tonight? You know, DJ, my sister called today. She was like, she watched the stream because she knew she was on it, so she watched the video. And she's like, why is that DJ person mad when I come on? And I had to remind her who you were. And then she's like, oh, that's him? She's like, oh, okay, I understand now. She's given you permission to be upset. Because at first she was pretty upset that somebody'd be upset that she was coming on. DJ says, Bird, watch The Private Eyes, one of the Tim Conway's funniest movies with Don Knotts. I'll try, DJ, but I'll be honest, I doubt I will find the time. I don't even have time to do half the things I want to do right now, and I've got such a backlog of things I want to see and then I want to talk about. Chief Cook says, sorry to Anti-Tracker. Sci-Fi Guy says, yes, sad day, rip Tim Conway. Chief Cook says, I just heard it. Mark Andy says, some other stuff? Question mark. DJ Odyssey says, hi Josh, I'm tired, worn out. Oh, and Anti-Tracker Thomas didn't die. It was all an illusion from the Telosians. Lol. Don't need the time stones. And Alex Lethe says, hi Bird of Prey. Hello Alex, welcome to the stream. Chief Cook says, DS9 Season 8 would have been a great return of Cisco. It would have been, and it would have been better than Discovery, and it will be better than the Picard series would be. And Chief Cook says, Avery Brooke is ill. Well, I think once he's in front of the camera, he's okay. Anti-Trigger says, honestly, it's not embarrassing tech that Kuroga uses. It's the inept leadership of that really holds them back. Canoic says, Anti-Trigger, stop speaking ill of Kuroga tech. They are just keeping low carbon footprint. DJ says, oh sure, rub salt in the wound more that she didn't remember me. Actor says, well, you know, if your name was Pink Bunny Guy, I'm sure she would have remembered you. Actor says, but they use Jeeps, or only the tyrant leadership uses them. No, Jeeps are strictly controlled to the leadership. That's why the population, you know, they can't go everywhere. Anti-Trigger says, Kennewick Sapien, true, their rockets powered by the tears of Kuroga children are very environmentally friendly. Actor says, Joe's sister kind of forgot about DJ. Game of Thrones joke. Yes, like Daenerys forgot about the Iron Fleet. Darth Calhoun says, just got Warhammer 40k Space Marine game, so I will be playing it through that during the stream. Have fun, Darth Calhoun. Sounds cool. DJ Odyssey says, Joe, explain to her that I'm only saying it in jest. She knows, I'm pretty sure. I'll double check. It really is okay that she wasn't interested. I can't have someone that doesn't respect Star Trek in my life. Lol. Canoic says, surefire way to be remembered by women, dance in a pink bunny outfit. Chief Cook says Captain Nog commanding the Defiant. Row Ada says Conway was most famous for the Carol Burnett show. By the way, do people realize that show did a TOS parody? I did not. Anti-Trigger says need to run my Galaxy Quest Part 1 videos is up over 40 minutes long now. Jeez, wow, well. If that's part 1, do you know that parts 2, 3, and 4 are going to be a similar size? But that's cool. So, I'm going to start now that Row Ada is here, or is still here. Row Ada sent me a new Star Trek Discovery quiz. So let's do that one and find out which Star Trek Discovery character I am this time. This is a little bit more involved quiz than last time. Oh, this was a congratulations email I got from YouTube. They said, "Hi Fi, Bird of Prey 5, you have just enough fans to fill a jumbo jet." It was actually it was when I hit 500 subs, although I only got it yesterday. I was at 550 when I got this. "Your YouTube channel's up to 500 subscribers. That's awesome. We can't wait to see where you'll take your channel next." And then they say tag at YouTube and use hashtag 500 subs on social to let everyone know the good news. So basically, advertise us for free, they say. Well, it was a good try, YouTube. I give you an A for effort. But yes, it was nice to get a congratulations email from YouTube. So, here we are. How stuff works. I've never heard of the site. What Star Trek Discovery character are you? About you, this quiz. Star Trek Discovery is the 6th Star Trek series to air on television, assuming you don't count the short-lived animated series. Well, who would count that? I mean, that's just nuts to count that. From the early 1970s, like its predecessors, Discovery takes audiences to a universe explored by Starfleet and the United Federations of Planets as they seek out new life and new civilizations. That is not what Discovery has been about. Boldly going where no one has gone before. Absolutely not what Star Trek Discovery has been about. The show has also done it in a way that's more intense than previous Treks, if that's the word you want to use. It is dirtier, darker, and much bleaker than the earlier shows. Yeah, I'm not going to read anymore. You've already failed. You've already failed. Did Star Trek Discovery go any place no one has gone before? Maybe to the Mirror Universe? I mean, of course, obviously there were people there, but only not regular universe people. Otherwise, they were fighting a war. They weren't going to strange new places. Whatever. Oh, 30 questions. Okay, so this will be a lot better than that BuzzFeed 6 questions or whatever. Are you the kind of person who respects authority? Yeah, I am. Oh, what are your options? Implicitly, of course. Aren't those are pretty close to the same answer. If they deserve it, and I respect authority that understands my point of view. Well, if they have to understand your point of view to have their respect, they are not really authority, or you simply do not respect authority. Because if you are putting a test, if you have saying you only respect authority if, then you do not respect their authority implicitly. I gotta say, I pretty much respect authority, so I will say, of course. What position do you think would be most interesting on a starship? Science officer, captain, helm, or engineer? Ooh, tough one. Tough one. Well, I definitely want to say engineer. It's engineer or captain. I mean, at heart, I'm an engineer. I've got to go with engineer. Scotty says there's really no place he ever wanted to be than an engineer on a starship. That's it. What's the coolest technology you'll find on a starship? Transporters, they're pretty cool. Replicators, that's pretty cool. Holodecks or warp drive. Warp drive or holodecks. I gotta say, the engineer in me wants to say warp drive. The human part of me wants to say holodecks, because I could just recreate warp drive on the holodeck and then do so much other things on the holodeck. So you know what? We're gonna do holodeck, because holodeck kinda includes all of these. Number 4, if you could be the captain of any Starfleet vessel in Star Trek history, which ship would it be? Deep Space Nine? Discovery? No, absolutely not. Voyager or Enterprise? Which Enterprise? The NX-01, the NCC 1701, the NCC 17101A, B, C, D, E, J? What a terrible question. And Deep Space Nine isn't even a ship. But I would choose Deep Space Nine, because it was by far the, well, not by far, but it was the best. Number 5, the Spore Drive. Oh, Jesus. Makes use of a cosmic tardigrade stolen from some guy's video game to navigate. What's the coolest non-humanoid alien in Trek? What? What does what have to do with the other? Tribbles, the crystalline entity, Gorgamanders, aka space whales, because they knew no one would know what the F a Gorgamander was, or species 8472, which are kind of humanoid. Wow. Talk about random pieces of crap. I mean, not tribbles. Tribbles aren't crap. I gotta go with tribbles. I mean, they're not the coolest, but the crystalline entity, that was crap. Space whales are crap. You know what? I'm gonna go with species 8472. Their bio ridiculousness was kind of stupid, but I gotta say, when they recreated the Federation, Starfleet Academy out in the Delta Quadrant to do their training to infiltrate the Federation, even though the Federation was a far-off power that nobody would have cared about if they were, of all the people they were going to infiltrate. Why they chose the Federation, who knows? But I will do, I mean, tribbles are cool, but species 8472 is the only one worth anything. Starfleet, number 6. Starfleet's prime directive forbids interference with the development of other societies. Would you ever violate this directive? Never. Depends on the circumstances. If it was necessary. Or it shouldn't happen, but I can't say. Well, depends on the circumstances, and if it was necessary, seem very similar. And that both seem similar, especially if it was necessary, seems very similar to it shouldn't happen, but I can't say. I would say if it was necessary, but pretty close to depends on the circumstances. Terrible, terrible questions. The Klingons on Discovery. There's Klingons on Discovery? I never seen them. The Klingons on Discovery are pretty terrifying. Well, they're pretty something. Which Klingons do you like the most? Oh, Deep Space Nine. Star Trek, the original series. Star Trek Discovery. Oh, God forbid. Klingons from the J.J. Abrams film universe. No, fucking. And Star Trek, the Next Generation. Well, original series Klingons are okay, but I guess Star Trek, the Next Generation Klingons, they are what Klingons are supposed to be. Number 8, every Trek has a non-human crew member. This is true. Which one was the best? Saru? Oh, hell no. Spock? Yes. I don't have to keep reading. Data? Or the Doctor from Voyager? Well, Spock. Number 9. Which alien species in the Star Trek universe would you want to hang out with the most? Trill? Vulcans? Ferengi? Or Andorians? How about Orion slave girls? Or Rysans? Rysans? Romulans even? Bajorans? Vulcans are not going to be any fun. Andorians, Ferengi, no. So I guess by process of elimination, Trill. Number 10. Nothing beats an old-fashioned Star Trek slobber knocker? What the fuck is a slobber knocker? What alien species do you think would be the most challenging in a fist fight? Oh, a fist fight. The Gorn, a Vulcan, Cardassians, or Klingons? Well, a fist fight. The Gorn are like... I mean, listen, you don't want to fight a Klingon with a Batleth or a Mechleth or something like that. But fist fight... I don't know. I mean, Vulcans and Klingons are pretty strong. Gorn, though, I mean, they show that Gorn to be incredibly powerful. What quote could you have added, DJ? Get the notification. DJ's added a quote to the quote thread already. I have to say Gorn, okay? I have to say the Gorn. They just make them out to be like they would be so much stronger than a Klingon. Now, Klingon would be second choice. Who is the greatest captain in Starfleet history? Sisko, Archer, Janeway, Kirk, or Picard? Well, Kirk then. Number 12, the mirror universe is a big part of Discovery. Well, I don't care. Who is the best character from the Mirrorverse? Captain Lorca, Space Hitler. Emperor Georgiou, also Space Hitler. Kira Nerys, or Spock? Oh, Mirror Spock with a beard. Well, as much as I respect Mirror Spock, I think Kira Nerys from the Mirror Universe was probably a character I'd prefer watching. 13 says every vessel needs a doctor. Which doctor had the best bedside manner? Voyager's holographic doctor, Dr. McCoy, Dr. Crusher, or Dr. Bashir? This is a tough one. Bedside manner. Well, it's not Voyager's doctor, I'll give you that. Dr. McCoy, did he have a good bedside? He didn't have a bad bedside manner. I mean, I just don't think Dr. Crusher was that great a character, but her bedside manner wasn't bad. Well, you just been injured on an away mission. Nah, you know what? I was gonna say, you've just been injured on an away mission. You wake up. What face do you want to see staring back at you? And I was gonna say, I'm gonna choose Dr. Crusher. Because, easy on the eyes. But, thinking back to the episode where poor Worf became paralyzed, and she's like, "Hey, nothing we can do for you." I'm going to have to go with good old Dr. McCoy. He'd give me a little shot of whiskey if he's got to give me some bad news. Number 14 says, you can't travel across the galaxy without a decent engineer keeping an eye on the engines. That's true. What engineer was best at their job? Geordi, Scotty, B'Elanna Torres, or Stamets? Wait, Stamets? I thought it was Stamets. There's no T? I've been calling him Stamets this whole time. Scotty. That's not even a tough one. 15. Wow, the halfway point. Maybe I should check comments. 15. All good starships have a science officer on board. Which science officer was the best? Spock? Yes. Michael Burnham? Absolutely not. Michael Burnham, is she even science officer? I guess she is. Jadzia Dax? She's not bad. Or T'Pol? Okay, there's no one better than Spock, unfortunately. I mean, this isn't which is the hottest science officer. This is the best science officer. 16. You know what? Let's do a comment break. Because I know you guys are missing my old face here. So let me read the comments and then I'll continue on. Chief Cook had said, Captain Nog commanding the Defiant. Let's see. I see a lot of people yelling out answers. Ro Ada says, Conway was most famous for Carpeneccio. Okay, yes, I read that one. Anti-Trigger says, need to run. I read that one too. Chief Cook says, to Anti-Trigger, did you see the DS9 documentary? He did not. Ro Ada says, cool. Josh Reed says, how many part do you still need to make Anti-Trigger? It was a 4-part review. Alex Lethe says, I often have the problem of 40-plus minute videos. Kennewick says, the Anti-Tracker, you need to include the Kurtzman quotes in Hollywood Reporter in which he literally thinks Galaxy Quest is Trek canon. Maybe you covered that in one of your streams. Chief Cook says, will Anti-Trigger get 500 sub? I think Anti-Trigger's already past 500 subs. Hector says, it seems that we now have Galaxy Quest Review Part 1 of 1. Galaxy Quest Review Part 2 of Part 1. DJ Odyssey says, I just seen some 14-year-old girl gained about 35,000 subs just today. Thanks, DJ. Thank you for making me feel like I mattered. I guess we're even. Kennewick says, going to be Tilly again. The universe wills it. I hope not. Hector says, Jumbo Jet. Well, that's a little vague and old. Chief Cook says, it was stupid. Chief Cook says, Bird, stop before you make Anti-Trigger mad. What? What was I doing was making Anti-Trigger mad? Alex Lethe says, STD places went to loads of places that no Trek went before. All of them bad. John DeMarco says, on the greatest captain question, they don't have Cisco. Quiz already fails. A Multi-Button Man says, hey Bird, how's it going? I made it just in time. Yeah, Multi-Gun Man, I'm trying to find out for reasons which Star Trek Discovery character I might be. And we are on the 600 subscriber spectacular, and we're here to discuss what we left behind, the Deep Space Nine documentary. Chief Cook is saying warp drive is the coolest tech. DJ says, don't ask, Hector. DJ says, Bird picked holodeck so he could literally be like Geordi or Barkley. And Rose says, or Bortus. No, definitely not like Bortus. Chief Cook says, no bloody A, B, C, or D. If you know it's spam, why do you even ring? Yes, no bloody A, B, C, or D. DJ Odyssey says Deep Space Nine could move, so it was a very slow ship. It's not a ship. DJ says 9. Really, DJ? Lol. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yes, well, Deep Space Nine was the one to pick. DJ says, well, using their logic. Lol. Canoic says, order for the win. Thomas Bot says, hi. Hi, Thomas. I thought you weren't going to make it today. DJ Odyssey says, Doctor Who Space Whales was better. Hector says, that is stupid. Chief Cook says, no Defiant. Yeah, what's up with that? Canoic says, Horta was the first strong female character. DJ Odyssey says, hi, Thomas. I figured out you really didn't die today. It was all a Telosian illusion. Ro Ada says, yes, Horta would have been good. Sci-Fi Guy says, greetings to Thomas. Hector says, who made that quiz? An STD writer? Well, certainly somebody with an agenda. Chief Cook says, where's Anti-Trekker? He went to go work on his video. DJ says, hi, Sci-Fi Guy. And Bruce Lombardo, welcome, Bruce Lombardo. Says, hello, everyone. Chief Cook says, never. Sci-Fi Guy saying hello to DJ. Rose says, Kirk violated every other episode or so. Yes, the Prime Directive, Kirk violated it pretty often. Bruce says they're orcs. Yes, Kling orcs. Multi-Gunman says Klingons on Discovery, maybe next season. Yeah, because we certainly didn't see them yet. Josh Street says Bird loves the Kling orcs. Canoic says, I like Klingons with lots of gratuitous cleavage. Just being honest. DJ Odyssey wanted me to say T'Pol. And then Chief Cook is yelling out Worf, though Worf wasn't an option. Josh Street says Trill. Bruce Lombardo says the Canoic lots of cleavage is just winning. Thomas Potts says, what is he filling out? I'm filling out another what Discovery character am I quiz. Hector says, I'm sure that by the end of the quiz, the code is like the results is the integer reminder of the division of the sum of the answers by the number of answers. DJ says, this quiz sucks. It totally ignored Enterprise. Well, head to Paul. Multi-Gunman says Ferengi or Andorians. Probably Ferengi. Chief Cook said Klingon. Multi-Gunman says Trill. Really? I would have picked Ferengi or Andorian. I just have the feeling that Ferengi probably have an odor. And Andorians, I don't know. Oh, that's the quote DJ uploaded. What the F is a slobber knocker? John DeMarco says I went with the Ferengi too. Sci-Fi Guy says Klingons. Josh Street says Bird, why not the Ferengi? You love to make gold-pressed latinum. I just don't think the Ferengi would be that interesting. Rose says would pick Trill. They have many stories. That's what I'm thinking. Hector says Orion Slave Girls. Nice missing response. Chief Cook is lolling. John DeMarco says Gorn are really powerful but also really slow. But in a fist fight, do you need a lot of speed? And I guess I might have a chance against a really well, if I could walk, I might have a chance against a really slow enemy. DJ is lolling, and Chief Cook is saying for DJ to stop. Thomas Potts says that's another quote, DJ. Bruce Lombardo says Orion Slave Girls would win in a paternity suit. Ro Ada says, really, Kirk over Picard? Oh, Ro, of course. Kirk over Picard and Cisco over Kirk. Well, Cisco and Kirk are almost on the same level. Honestly, Archer is... No, I'm not saying this to insult Picard. because I think Archer is a pretty good captain, unlike most people. But I'd put Archer only slightly below Picard and above Janeway. Sci-Fi Guy says, indeed, John DeMarco. Kennewick says, goatee Spock. Chief Cook is yelling Spock. John DeMarco says, Mira Spock, certainly. DJ Odyssey says, what a quote. What a quote. What quote could you have added, DJ? Oh, there it is. Multi-Gunman says, Mira Kira was my favorite. I agree. Hector says, oh, Anti-Trekker is angry. Where are you getting Anti-Trekker is angry from? I don't see Anti-Trekker posting here. Chief Cook says, really, Kira? Well, she was, Hold on, I gotta tell Zethan I'm live. He keeps messaging me. What did he want? Okay, nothing big. Get to him later. I told him I was live. He said, damn it, you're probably live. And I said, I am. Multigun says, Dr. Crusher had the best bedside manner. Chief Cook says, McCoy. Yeah, I think McCoy. Josh Street says, the only redhead on the list. Hector says, Crusher. John DeMarco says, McCoy's bedside manner was just to get you drunk. You guys could do this poll too. I'm sorry, I should have put the URL out there. If you wanna do it along as I do it, here is the poll URL. Open that in a new tab. McCoy's bedside manner was to get you drunk, says John DeMarco. That works for me. Hector says, or slap you. John DeMarco says, I'd go with Bashir. If they ask who was the best doctor, it would be between Bashir and the hologram. But if they're asking bedside manner, that's a different question. Kennewick says, Dr. Crusher couldn't cure Worf. Exactly. And Hector says, Bashir was nice too. Yeah, but he was kind of a know-it-all. Dr. Crusher, DJ Odyssey says, Crusher, if she turned around and bent, never mind. Chief Cook says, Scotty. John DeMarco says, Sametz. I've never heard it Sametz. I thought it was Stamets. John Street says, Torres or Scotty. Hector says, you can travel with a micrologist, though. DJ Odyssey says, Torres. John DeMarco says, it is Stamets. They can't even spell. And yeah, why wasn't O'Brien an option? Because they only have 4 options. They should have had O'Brien instead of B'Elanna. Chief Cook says Spock, and Josh Strait says Dax. Kennewick says Relics totally undercut Scotty. Made Scotty look like a habitual liar about repair times. Yeah, always. If you want to be a miracle worker, you didn't tell him the actual time. You've got a lot to learn if you want to be considered a miracle worker. Hector says Burnham, ha. Multi-Gunman says Dax. DJ says Burnham was everything. Jadzia Dax as the science officer. DJ Odyssey saying T'Pol. Hector says Miles is furious. DJ is Bruce Lombardo says more wrenchers than chatters. Yeah, Bruce. Everyone here gets a wrench eventually. DJ says, you want my wrench, Bruce. You can't give away your wrench, DJ. The multi-gunman is laughing at DJ. I mean, you can give it up, but you can't give it away. Multi-gunman is saying, DJ, laughing off when you said, ah. DJ Odyssey says, well, he put his face back up. What was I supposed to do? Sovereign 506. Welcome, Sovereign. Does anyone have an idea about how to watch this doc outside the U.S.? Sovereign, even in the U.S., you cannot watch it right now. It's not available. It was only available for a short time to backers. Then it was in movie theaters for one day yesterday. Now, I got an email. There is on their Indiegogo page, they are looking for an international release, a movie theater release in the UK and Ireland, and maybe Germany, but there's been nothing else reported. August 6th, in the USA at least, supposedly the DVD, the Blu-ray, and a streaming version, a paid streaming version of the documentary is supposed to become available. So my guess would be sometime after August 6th, it will become available in other countries through either legal or more gray area means somehow. But I think at this point, you basically just got to either, unless you're in one of those couple of countries that it's going to go to the movie theaters, you're going to have to wait to August to try to get a copy. Hopefully legit, because it is totally worth it. DJ Odyssey says, you are welcome, Bird. Bruce Lombardo says, no, I always hear about how this guy could use some good sub numbers, so DJ Odyssey between Nerdrotic and Anti always praise this guy's content and story. Who? Bruce Lombardo says, no, I always hear how this guy could use some good sub numbers at DJ. Between Neurotic and Anti always praises this guy's content and story. Oh, mine? Well, thank you. Chris Presser says, Bird of Prey, just thought I'd say engineer Stamets might actually be the best, considering we've never been introduced to him. Only a microbiologist. That is true. DJ says, and that guy was named Stamets. DJ says, yes, in all honesty, Bruce, Bird is a great guy. We only kid with him because if we didn't, he would think he was mad, or he would think we was mad or something. Yeah, everything that goes on here, Bruce, it's all for fun and games. These are all good guys and girls sometimes. Thomas Potts says, I guess no Anti-Tracker supporter stream. No, Thomas, I'm sorry. No, Anti-Tracker is going to do the supporter stream on Thursday. Or as Anti-Tracker calls it, Turds Day. Yeah, no, he didn't have time to do it today. He is planning to do it on Turds Day. So, change of plans. He was going to post a note on Patreon. I wonder if he meant for me to post a note on antitracker.com. Too late. Chief Cook says, did I hear the Dukes of Hazzard? You did. That is my ringtone. Just a couple of good old boys, never meaning no harm. Oh, and the Anti-Tracker showed back up. Thomas Potts, I'm sorry, I meant to put an announcement. I will do a supporter stream tomorrow afternoon. So now he's changed it to Wednesday afternoon. Okay. Bruce Lombardo says if he was running Streamlabs, I would donate enough for him to get a Pencam coffee here in Texas. Probably not in New York. A pecan coffee, excuse me. Oh, well, that's so nice, Bruce. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I'm not on Streamlabs. If you have PayPal, there's a link at the top, PayPal, or in the description, paypal.me/BertoPrey5. And you can pick a song. I could sing one. It's not good. You probably prefer I don't. Bruce Lombardo says, I got you, Anti. Dude has good content. Thank you, Bruce. Thomas says, Bird of Prey couldn't beat a Tribble. Well, I wouldn't beat a Tribble. How about that? Multi-Gunman says, Bird of Prey, what? You're not curious about what a naked Ferengi woman? No. You have a chance to see one if you hung out with some Ferengi. Well, not if it's in the post-Grand Nagus ROM Ferenginar. And Jesus, I'd just rather assume they wear clothes. Bruce Lombardo says, I wonder if you could Scotch guard a Tribble. Ro Ada says, or a Glomer. Zethon. Welcome, Zethon. This is the only way I get to speak to the big star Joe nowadays. Nothing big. Every time I have everything I have to say is important. I said I would get to you in a second. Get to you a little later, Zethon. It's not that I'm not going to answer you. Give me one quick second. So I could just do a quick clearing of the throat. Okay, you know what? Just give me a minute. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. And I gave you some decent music, not a terrible punishing song. So Zethon, I do apologize. Yes, I was a little busy. I will respond once I'm off the stream. Or if you want to bring it up here, we can bring it up here. Zethon's actually coming in for a visit this week. Multi-Gunman says, Bruce Lombardo, LMFAO, best question ever. I wonder if you could Scotch guard a Tribble. DJ says, it is Zethon, hail. And then I put in the poll. Zethon says, guess who's visiting Joe this week? Just guess. Huh? I always say it right before I read it. And that one was off the screen, so it's not even like I saw it subliminally. Actor says 20 spectators, only 14 likes. People, this is not a Bird of Prey 5 stream if the likes don't surpass the viewers. That is true. That is true. I'm sorry, we're up to 18. Very cool. Well, I guess we lost a couple, but that's still pretty cool. Anti-Trigger says, well, got to go for the night. I have to go to a meeting, then keep working on the video until bedtime. Congrats again, Bird. Thank you so much, Anti-Trigger. Have a good night. Zethon says if his security guards will let me in. That is true. Zethon has to get past Sassy first. DJ Odyssey says, I wonder if you used hair remover on a Tribble, what would be left? That's terrible. That is terrible. And I got a donation. I assume that was from Bruce, but let me double check before I thank the wrong person. Well, that was not from Bruce. It was from, won't say your name, but thank you very much. Unless you want to make it public, then I'll make it public. But thank you very much. Very cool. And if you want me to sing a song, just let me know in the chat or on Discord or something. Bruce Lombardo, it's a sad question. Multi-Gun Man makes you not want to touch the toys at the Brony house. DJ is saying goodnight to Anti-Tracker. Everybody's saying goodnight. Good night, goodbye. Actor says if you use hair remover on a giant pink bunny, what would be left? DJ says a naked me. Rose says, I wonder how they came up with the quantity 99 hours. They actually talked about it. Stephen I. Robert said, you get it? 9, because it was Deep Space Nine. So they came out with 99 hours. It actually turned out to be 138 hours because they added some random number of hours to it, because it turned out the first day was really pretty hard to get to access it, because the servers were overwhelmed, because they were using a really crappy service that you had to text in and prove it was you by a text number, two-factor authentication. And they claimed that it was not copyable, that you could not possibly copy it, that they had super copy protection. Well, what's playing behind me proves that just simply wasn't true. Now, I'm not going to distribute it, obviously, but you know what? I paid for it already. I'm not gonna not make a copy of it for my own purposes. I am entitled to it completely. And they just wasted everybody's time with this stupid digital rights management bullshit. Actor says Detective Pikachu now has the most successful opening for a video game movie. Hector says, speaking of furry things. DJ says, you bird, you. They're speaking highly of you. Thank you. I was surprised. Sovereign 506, I love Deep Space Nine. I can't wait to see it. And that will be the single thing I'm buying from CBS these days. Actually, it's not technically from CBS. They had to go to CBS and get the footage from CBS, and it was kind of a pain in the butt for them to even get the footage. And on the Blu-ray and DVD, they're going to talk about what a quest it was to get the footage from CBS. In the end, CBS eventually relented and was very helpful to them. But it was a whole bunch of hard work when it really shouldn't have had to be. CBS should have been, thrilled to give them this, because this is going to make more people go out and watch and rebuy Deep Space Nine DVDs. Unfortunately, it's not on Blu-ray, but it's going to make people want to watch Deep Space Nine, whether it's on CBS All Access or buying the DVDs or on some other streaming service. It's just increasing demand for Deep Space Nine all over again. And there's a lot of things I want to talk about with this. We might not even get to it all tonight. Hector says, almost an hour in, Joe should start speaking about the documentary. Well, let me finish this survey, and then we'll get to the documentary. And Sovereign, if you don't want spoilers, when I do start speaking about the documentary, as much as I love having new people here, fair warning, I will be making some spoilers. I'm not going to spoil everything, but I am going to make some spoilers. Multi-Gunman says he's really going outside to chase the kids off his lawn again. You damn Romulan. DJ says, you damn Romulan kids, get off my lawn. Actor says, will Bird of Prey be in bed during the fight? That would be an advantage or a handicap. DJ says, probably an advantage. You'd probably end up being either run over or calling in the mafia. Multi-Gunman says, DJ Odyssey, you damn stupid packlets, get off my lawn. DJ says, lol. Could you imagine if you lived in a city with Romulans and Packlids and Ferengi? Morn's just walking. One time, years ago, when Dad was still alive and living here, I came home one day. I think I was after a trip, and I was like, "Oh, what went on?" He's like, "Nah." One night I came home, and there was a guy sleeping on the lawn. I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, the guy was just sleeping on the grass." I said, "What'd you do?" He's like, "I went up to him. I said, 'Hey, buddy, you okay? You need help?'" And he's like, and he was drunk, and he just got up and he kept walking. That's what happens when you're between the bars that are on one Main Avenue and the train station. That's on another. So, although, come to think of it, if you were at the bars, you probably would have gone to the train station closer to the bars. Now I'm really confused why the guy was sleeping on the lawn. DJ is lol. Hector says maybe he can call Sassy and she finishes you off, DJ. John Araki says crapla, John Araki. Is this the DS9 spoiler bed life? There will be some. We didn't get to it yet. DJ says, well, I think Mrs. Anti-Trigger is the judge of the fight from what I remember. Chief Cook says, I just finished the quiz. You are not going to believe what the results was. Oh, that's serious clickbait. That is serious clickbait. DJ says, please, no singing. Hector says, wheelchair guy, Chief Cook. Ethan says, that's okay, Joe. You can tell people I donated. I'm not that modest. It was not you, Ethan. It was not you. John Araki says, down with Turtistan. Rose says to Chief Cook, what did you get? Chief Cook says, no Michael Burnham, WTF. John Araki says, if you have hair remover, give it to Anti for his hobbit feet. Oh, wow. Wait, what was that? Okay, we got a song request and a donation from John Araki. Thank you so much, John Araki. But he says no rush, so we'll do it next stream. That's where I can get ready for it. Next Bed Life stream. Thank you so much, John Araki, and thank you for the kind words. John Araki says, if you had hair remover, give it to Anti for his hobbit feet. That would probably make Mrs. Anti-Trekker happy. DJ says, lol. Hector says, you win the lotto then, Chief. Ro Ada says, Chief Cook, I got Burnham too. Chief Cook says, yes. There you go, Ro. Hector says, did Bird finish the quiz? No, I'm halfway through. Chief Cook says, no singing. You know, Chief Cook, Thomas Potts paid me to sing you some songs. Only songs when you're on the stream. Now, I don't have them ready for tonight, so you're lucky. John DeMarco says, I also got Burnham, wireless telecommunications facility. Rose says, no, he's halfway through the quiz. So everybody's getting Michael Burnham, huh? Rose says, interesting. I wonder if it's possible to get anything other than Michael Burnham. Chief Cook says, Michael Burnham was the answer. Hector says, seems everyone is now Burnham. How deep? To life and the universe. Darren says, Warcraft movie is still, I think, the best movie based off a computer/video game. Screw Pikachu. John DeMarco says, Burnham is the answer to all life's questions. Zachary Gibbons, welcome Zachary, says, the people at CBS can be major idiots. Rose says, should have tried to answer A on every question and see what happens. Chief Cook says, yep, John. Kennewick says, Bird needs to be the head of CBS Consumer Products. Darren, I wouldn't turn down that job. Darren Wagner says, Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek series, and it's also the best of the post-TOS series. That is 100%. I agree with that completely, Darren. Almost as much. Yes, very, very true. Thomas got Saru. Okay, so it's not all Burnham. Hector says the Warcraft movies can be good if you know the games. For normal people, it's a mess, Darren. Chief Cook says August 9th open. What? August 9th, the movie is opening somewhere? Or August 9th is when the Blu-ray and DVD comes out? Because I saw August... What did I see? I saw August 6th. And, in fact, Thomas Potts sent me a still frame from the movie theater he was at, and it definitely said August 6th. I just double checked. for release of the Blu-ray, DVD, and online streaming in the United States. David said, just finished the quiz. That number 26, don't give CBS ideas. Okay, David, I'll keep an eye out for number 26. John, welcome, David, by the way. See, not a name I see around here often. John DeMarco says, you know it's serious when we're worried about spoilers if a documentary is about a TV show from 20 years ago. That's the thing about this documentary. It's actually pretty cool. What I will talk about are the Deep Space Nine moments and past things. What I'm not going to spoil tonight is the Season 8, Episode 1 overview plot line that they discussed, because I want to talk about Season 8 of Deep Space Nine. This is a hypothetical. This is in no way a reality or even going to possibly be a reality. This is just a hypothetical they made up just for this documentary. So it's about, the documentary I'd say is about 70% talking about Deep Space Nine and the actors and stuff, and about 30% this hypothetical how Season 8 Episode 1 would go. Kennewick says the documentary includes a hypothetical treatment for Season 8 of Deep Space Nine. It's like you guys are ahead of me. Wow. Hector says, yeah, spoilers for a documentary doesn't sound logical. It didn't to me either, Hector, until I watched it. Multi-Gunman says, a drunk guy on your lawn. Ah, yes, the life and times of a New Yorker, lol. I have a very soft and inviting looking lawn, Multi-Gunman. Ro Ader says, drunks rarely act logically. John Araki says, spoiler, Kira aged better than Jadzia. Honestly, I would say Jadzia aged better than Kira, but that's only because Kira has her hair completely white. If she had her hair longer and dyed, it could go either way. But knowing Kira is married to Bashir, the actress who plays Kira is married to the actor who plays Dr. Bashir. That's pretty interesting. Darren Wegner says, Hector, 35 minutes were cut from Warcraft. That's why it was a mess. Kennewick Sapien says, when I lived in New York, this woman would yell, Deo, like the song in the street all the time at all hours of the day and night. If that's all she was yelling, that's not bad. Zachary Gibbons says, I hope one day your bed life becomes wheelchair life and you go outdoors again. Zachary, when the weather is good and I have somewhere to go, I do occasionally go outside in the wheelchair, but it is it's difficult, and it's been raining here for a few weeks. The DJ says, WTF, this quiz sucks, but thank you, Zachary. I do appreciate it. Where did you find the quiz? Ro Ada sent it to me. Kennewick says, yes, the quiz sucks. I didn't get Michael Burnham. I got Saru, says Kennewick. DJ says, yeah, I got someone besides Burnham. Thomas says, evil laughter, Chief Cook. David says, not everyone is getting Burnham. I got Saru. Okay. DJ says, it says I'm freaking Stamets. Good for you, DJ. Zethan says, I was taking that quiz, and under the question for best series, Voyager was not on the list. Zethan's been triggered. John Araki says, AOC has a mustache. And then DJ put in a link to the quiz, I guess, again. Darren Wagner says, AOC has black eyes. Zachary Gibbons says, I want to be the head man in charge of Omni Consumer Products. And now Sci-Fi Guy puts in a link to the quiz. Kennewick says, I'd like to hear how Berta Prey would run a Season 8 of Deep Space Nine. Kennewick, that is a plan. I'm going to do a video on a review of Season 8, Episode 1 as it's presented in this documentary. And then I guess maybe once a week or so, I will do a video or a live stream, however it finds out working, where I'm just going to put out there what I think Episode 2 should be, Episode 3 should be, up through Episode 24 or something, if we were doing an actual network TV series. And we see where we go. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know where we end up. But I'll tell you where we're going to start from, and we'll go from there. Hopefully that'll be something that can take the place of a Bed Life stream or something. Or a City Skylines. Kenwick says, I'd like to hear John DeMarco says, even if not everyone gets Burnham, they're all Discovery characters. Your result is automatically going to suck to some degree. That is true. Chief Cook says, August 9th DS9 documentary. Oh, so that's cool wherever you are. Kennewick Sapien says, someone timestamped that quote, I have a soft and very inviting lawn. Ro Ada says, didn't Kira and Bashir divorce? Well, in this documentary, it seemed like they were still married. I don't know. Darren, well, I guess they talked about their wedding. I guess they did. They technically didn't say they were divorced, but they did say they were married. I suppose that's possible. Darren says, Kira and Bashir aren't married anymore, if I recall correctly. Well, Hollywood weddings. Hector says, I'm sure Lore loved to be Lorker after that last quiz. Darren Wagner says, Kira and Bashir have a son named Django. Wow. Chris says, this quiz is BS. I got Stamets too. Well, maybe you and DJ should hang out. DJ says, and last time Bird went out to the yard, he threw a fit because he found out he needed 2,000 subs to live stream. No, 1,000. 1,000 subs. So we are less than 400 subs away from being able to live stream outside. Darren Wagner said Nana Vista wanted to play Janeway. Well, you know who she got lucky that she could play. You know, I guess we all kind of got lucky with Nana Vista, because if it was Ensign Ro who was the, from TNG, it would have been a completely different show. I don't know if it would have been better, but it was pretty damn good with Kira, so I'm happy with that choice. DJ says, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Chief Cook says, Nog can sing. Well, Rom can sing. Nog, I don't remember Nog singing in this. Rom and Wayun. Rom, Wayun, Quark, and who's the other one? There were 4 of them. Dumar, the guy that played, Dumar. Those 4 are like doing like a quartet at the end. Too bad Nana Vista wasn't in that episode of the Orville. I'm thinking they'll find a place for her. Tiki of Doom says, sing it. Ro Ada says, unbelievable in the day they did 26 episodes a season back then. Yeah. Kennewick says, I like it when Anti-Tricker made those videos where he rewrote the short tracks. Thomas says they divorced in 2001. Ro says, and she was remarried. And Ro Ada liked Ensign Ro. I liked Ensign Ro too, but just because Deep Space Nine ultimately became my favorite Trek series, I don't know that I'd want to screw with it. It could have turned out better, but why I wouldn't risk it. DJ says Nog sang with Vic Fontaine. Okay, that makes more sense. And Windows is telling me my device will restart outside of effective hours. Great, just great. Okay, so I'm going to go back to we'll finish this quiz quicker than the second half will go quicker than the first half. Let's put it that way. Okay, 16 or 30. If you could pick a quadrant to be stationed in it, which quadrant would it be? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Alpha. I want to be alpha, with the near the cool people. 17. What species is the greatest threat to the Federation? SJWs. Borg, Klingons, Q, or Romulans? I guess as of this. Well. Borg. Borg. I mean, yeah, Q could just snap his fingers and wipe out all of human existence, but I don't think he will. 18 says there's a short discovery story featuring a ship's computer in the distant future when it's become sentient. Oh, great. Which artificial life form held your interest in the Trek universe? Data, the Doctor from Voyager, Lal, who is Data's daughter, or Moriarty, who is another hologram. The Doctor from Voyager. He held my interest for 7 seasons. Data would be a close second. Data would be a close second. 19 says, which Star Trek series is the best series? Oh, this is so hard. The original series or Deep Space Nine? Where is Voyager? Where is Enterprise? Because Discovery should not even be on this list. I love you, Kirk, but Deep Space Nine. Sorry, the 7 seasons, it is the best Trek to date. 20. A lot of captains have helmed a starship over the years. Who did the worst job? So they're asking for the worst captain. Janeway. Oh, now Janeway's in. Lorca, Archer, or Chris Pine's Kirk? Lorca. Not even close. 21 says Discovery has introduced some visually impressive aliens. Really? Which Discovery race did you like the best? Oh my god, I almost clicked Klingons. Tardigrade? Oh my god, no. I don't know what Krepslupians are. Kelpians, Saru's race, in parentheses, yes. I guess Kelpians are getting it, because I don't know. Certainly not tardigrades. I don't know what Kreplusians are, and God, oh God, it's not going to be the Klingons. 22 says Star Trek often includes a character meant to be new and unsure of themselves. Which one did you relate to the most? Harry Kim, Wesley Crusher, Cadet Tilly, and Hoshi Sato. Well, with respect to Hoshi and Tilly, I am not related to either of them in any way. Not like personal relate to. Harry Kim or Wesley Crusher? I guess Harry Kim, because, geez, all the bad stuff happens to Harry Kim. Wesley Crusher, a weird space traveler, comes on the ship and whisks him away. No, I'm just happy not to be able to relate to that. Number 23, a good starship needs to have someone who can dole out sage advice to crew members in need. Who gave the best advice in Trek history? Sisko. Neelix, Guinan, Ezri Dax, or Deanna Troi? Wow. Oh, it's tough. I want to say Ezri, but Guinan gave pretty solid advice. Now, granted, her advice was only because she was written that way, and you could see no reason for it to be right, but she gave good advice. So it is Guinan. 24, Discovery, in quotes, had a pretty grim first season. Hey, it had a pretty grim second season, too. Is that a good direction for Star Trek to go? No. There was nothing about Discovery that is a good direction. The show should reflect the times. I like dystopian stuff. A realistic balance is necessary, or I'd prefer more positive stories. How about I'd prefer a better show? But I'll settle for I'd prefer more positive stories. 25 says even Starfleet officers need to relax now and then. What would be the ideal place to spend downtime? Sedona, Arizona. It still wouldn't have changed. A holodeck, the ship's bar, back on Earth, or Risa? Well, you could drive a Jeep around Sedona on the holodeck. But wouldn't it be better to do that in person? I'm going to say Earth. As much as I love the holodeck, you be something about coming home. 26 says, which classic... oh, this is the one I'm supposed to watch out for. Which classic track adversary would you like to see make an appearance on Discovery? Oh, my God. Q? Khan? How could Khan make an appearance on Discovery? The Dominion or the Borg? Forgetting the fact that Discovery is now 900 years in the future. I guess the Dominion. The Dominion. Q would be too easy. Plus, he'd look too old. 27 says, some plot devices in Star Trek universe are a lot crazier than others. Which one makes for the best storylines? Time travel, alternate dimensions, holodeck mishaps, transporter mishaps. That's a good question. That is a good question. I gotta say, I'm partial to time travel stories. I know. But Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, City on the Edge of Forever, the one where they go back in time with Gary 7, the Deep Space Nine one where they go back in time. Both of them, the one where Quark and the Ferengi go back to Roswell, and the two-parter where Cisco and Bashir and Dax and what's the other one go, and they get trapped in the past, and Cisco has to fill in for the Bell riots and Trials and Tribulations, and the Voyager two-parter where they go back in time and meet Sarah Silverman, who might be nuts but was pretty hot. Damn, all the time travel Trek episodes are pretty damn good. The only one I didn't like really that much, the one I wouldn't really rewatch, that Next Generation one where they go back and find Data's head and Mark Twain. That one, that's the only one I'm not a big fan of. 28, there have been a lot of Star Trek movies over the years. Which one did you like the most? Come on, Voyage Home. Come on. There it is, Voyage Home. Let's see. First Contact, Star Trek 11, the 2009 reboot, or Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. Voyage Home. 29. What is it about Star Trek that makes it such an enduring concept? Cool ideas and aliens? Not really. Stories that hold a mirror up to society? Possibly. A good mix of ash and humor and intelligence? Yeah. Good acting and writing? No. I'm going to go with a good mix of action, humor, and intelligence. TOS, DS9, the great episodes. They got some of it all. 30 of 30. Who in the Star Trek universe would you most want to sit down for with a drink? Data? No. Spock? 7 of 9. Now, I know all the guys probably pressing 7 of 9, but you know what? 7 of 9 doesn't do a lot for me. I know, you're like, how can that be? Well, I don't know, but those Borg implants, even though they're visible, even though there's not many, I don't like. I think Miles would be the most fun to sit down for with a drink. So, Chief O'Brien, seeing results, calculating results, because this is such a hard test. We need a supercomputer to calculate results. Enjoy your ad while you're playing, while we wait. Yeah. Oh, view my quiz results. Here we go. Who is it? Fuck! Tilly again! I got Tilly again! How is this heap happening to me?
You scared Sassy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sassy. I'm so sorry. What the hell? What the hell? Cadet Tilly is a breath of fresh air on Discovery. Young and inexperienced and many crew members of past vessels, Tilly is also oddly more human. Her lack of confidence is something most people can relate to, as is her drive to succeed despite having these real human moments of doubt. Tilly is the genuine article, someone who wants to do right but is never sure if she is. How did this happen? How is it we are sitting here after a Who Are You on Discovery quiz? And once again, they say, I am Tilly. 30 questions. Most of you were getting Michael Burnham. Some of you were getting Saru. And most unfortunate people of you were getting Stamets. And I apologize for my language. It's not usual on this stream, but this was trying times. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Back to the comments. Thomas Bott says she was pregnant with Bashir on the show. Chief Cook says, what Cisco's second son's name? Joseph? Joseph? Is it Joseph? I think it's Joseph. I think he named him after his father. John DeMarco says, some people like to say classic track had a lot of bad episodes, but cranking out a 26 this season, I think it's amazing it had as many good episodes. Tiki of Doom says Cisco went out for a pack of smokes. I'll be back, son. And you know what's sad about it in a way, although I guess because we saw what happened to Jake when Cisco was out of his life in the episode The Visitor, which had Cisco getting stuck in, interdimensional space or something. Like, why couldn't the prophets have rescued him from that? But regardless, we saw what Jake grew up with without Cisco. But I think the fact was, because he knew Cisco wasn't really dead, that was worse on him than him actually being dead. Now, knowing he was with the prophets, and he could conceivably fly into the wormhole, and I bet if he took a phaser to his head, Cisco would appear to him and prevent him from killing himself if it got to that point. But I guess that's better than actually being dead. Zachary Gibbons says, I got Saru on the quiz better than Burnham, indeed. Andy Trigger says, so I was listening while riding my motorcycle to a meeting. The quiz makes no sense. I got Stamets, but based on the description, the most likely should have picked Lorca or Pike. Well, I can tell you, Pike isn't in that, because this is probably a season 1, a season 1 only quiz. They don't have any info about season 2. Hector says 100 questions. The answer is determined by an RNG. Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movie says, why is STD question thing asked about the Borg? Well, because they're talking about all different Star Treks. Kennewick says the quiz doesn't sound like a marketing research tool for CBS. Chris Purse says, Anti-Trekker, welcome to the Stamets Brigade. John Denver says, who are the Krepsolsians? I have no idea, and because it's Star Trek Discovery, I don't even care to look. Kennewick, Sci-Fi Guy says the Kennewick Sapien, indeed, it's a marketing tool. Chief Cook says the anti-tracker got a bike cycle. Kennewick says Crepusculium equal STD episode where Burnham and Michelle Yeoh save the eggs. I don't even remember. John DeMarco says this question was rough because I don't relate to any of them remotely. Yeah. John DeMarco says Kim was the least annoying. DJ says, well, just read an article on why Nichelle Nichols is doing a farewell tour. It's because she has dementia. Kennewick Sapien says, poor Harry Kim, and he's an alternative universe Harry Kim too. That's right. Josh Street says, Dax. Lorca over Janeway, says Chief Cook. Mr. Lundell says, Guinan gave the best advice. She did. She unequivocally did. Chief Cook says, Wesley. Darren Wagner says, this Star Trek survey is garbage. Guess he got Stamets. DJ Odyssey says, shut up, Wesley. Oh, wait, he isn't here. DJ says, yes, it is, Darren. Kennewick says, Earth seems boring and canon track. Well, you can climb Half Dome, or whatever that mountain is in Star Trek V. Tiki of Doom says STD is HIV positive. Hector says it's a 2019 survey. What can one expect, Darren? John DeMarco says Q so he could snap his fingers and fix the timeline. Multi-Gunman says I just took the quiz. I got Saru. Kennewick says number 26 equal Kobayashi Maru. No win scenario. Darren Wagner says pick Q because he can undo Discovery. DJ says Bird, Q is not just one person, it's a race. They could have meant anyone be Q, yes. Kennewick says Lowell watched Death Wish the other night. DJ says I love the Death Wish movies. Rose says Children of Time is a nice time travel episode. Yes, that is another one. Kennewick says that is an underrated episode, Children of Time. Kennewick says lots of people probably haven't seen it since DS9. You know what? I probably should do. Let's not tell Anti-Trekker. Maybe I will do a time travel in Trek video series. I don't know. I say these things. I have plenty of ideas. I have a whole Word document full of ideas and barely get through any of them. Sci-Fi Guy says Time's Arrow. Yeah, I think that's the TNG one I didn't like. Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movie says Khan. Sci-Fi Guy says the episode with Data's head. Yes. Kennewick Sapien says the Irishman. Multi-Gunman says I picked Miles O'Brien for the beer question. I did too. Kennewick says 709 would be boring to drink with. I think so. Chris Persa says oddly enough the first three don't drink, so isn't the Chief the only option? Well, I mean, Data would sit down and pretend to drink. Kennewick says, but according to canon, 7 of 9 is a cheap drunk. John DeMarco says, drum roll. Hector says, you don't want 7 of 9 for her drinking chit-chat. And this is where I got Tilly. DJ Odyssey is LMAFO. Hector is ah ha 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 ha. And Kennewick Sapien says, praise Avis, it's Tilly. John DeMarco is lolling. Chris is ha-ha-haing. Hector is saying again. Roe is laughing. Lol at Tilly. Lol at Tilly indeed. Sci-Fi Guy is lol low. Chief Cook says, really? Voyage Home? Yeah, it's my favorite. Hector says, Anti-Trekker was right. Joe is Tilly. Multi-Gunman says, Bird. Yeah. Thomas is lolling. Kennewick Sapien says Avis is Lord and God. Multi-Gunman is lol. And Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movies is ROF LMAOing. John DeMarco says don't traumatize Sassy. I'm poor Sassy. She's good now. Did anyone else get Tilly, asks Roe. That nobody, I don't remember anyone saying they got Tilly. Chris says it's fated Bird and Tilly are soulmates. Well, I wouldn't kick season 1 Tilly out of bed. Josh Reed says, lol, Bird is Captain Foley's woman of his dreams. Of his dreams, yeah. John DeMarco says, I think it's just Bird. John Iraqi says, you got to change your name to Tilly O'Prey now. Rowe is still lolling. Kenwick says, Bird is better than a reality TV show. Any reality TV show. Oh, that's a big one because it's on The Bachelor. Bigger than The Bachelor. Zethon keeps trying to get me to watch The Bachelor. I'm like, no. I give zero interest. Sci-Fi guy says, it's okay, sassy. Kennewick says, Bird, repent your sins to Avis. Forgive me, Avis, for I've cursed on a YouTube stream. But I think you know why. I think you'd forgive me. Josh Reed says, Bird is fated to be Captain Foley's soulmate. No. He's already got Sylvia. So. Chief Cook says, lol, Tilly. DJ Odyssey says, well, with that blue shirt on tonight, Bird does kind of sort of look like Tilly. Oh, thanks, DJ. Kennewick says, Captain Foley is going to show up at Bird's door. Hope Mama Bird carries mace. Mom, if any hairless Canadians show up, you got to mace them.
What kind of Canadian?
Hairless.
Oh, hairless.
Oh, well, they have hair on their head, but no hair on their body. No chest hair or arm hair.
So I have to check the hair first?
You got to make sure if they're a man, they have a hairy chest. And if they have a Canadian accent.
How about I mace them first?
Oh, yeah, just mace them first. Ask questions later. That's better. John DeMarc, just don't mace Zethon. Zethon, if Zethon shows up, you remember what he looks like, right? Okay. John DeMarco says, we should sign a good What Orville Character Are You quiz. Wesley Crusher says, hello, everyone. A little late, Wesley. You missed the fun. Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movie says, face it, dude. You're the awkward, pimply-faced nerd on STD. Live with it. Embrace it. Hector says, Bird is a gentle soul, a nerd, intelligent, dreams of being in command, but he's not really fit for it. Well, there is no doubt in my mind that Tilly will become a captain or a first officer by the time Discovery ends, because she has to be. She's on the short bus to the command chair. DJ Odyssey says, shut up, Wesley. Hail. Chief Cook is lolling. Sci-Fi guy says, greetings to Wesley. Wesley is saying to shut up to DJ. DJ says, so we should rename this stream Tilly O'Prey 5. Hector says, if Bird does an Orville quiz, he will be Yaphet. I wouldn't mind Yaphet. Chief Cook says, acting Ensign Crusher. I would probably get Lieutenant Dan, being my luck. Chief Cook says, acting Ensign Crusher. Sci-Fi guy is yes to DJ Tilly O'Prey 5. Rowan say, Hector, that was profound. Sci-Fi guy's lolling. Wesley Crusher says, I am here. There is only a few things you can do about it. DJ says, at that point, there wasn't there. Guess we just knew you'd be. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, are you going to beat Anti-Tracker to the moon on Cabral Space Program? I don't know, Wesley. I don't know. Josh Reed says, got stammits. John Iraqi says, lol. Yeah, I see what you did there, John. Josh Reed says, Bird of Prey, I chose all your choices, but I ended up as Stamets. Something was different. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey plus Foley plus Tilly. Chief Cook says, what happens to you to Odo season 8? Well, that's a season 8 spoiler, but actually Odo was the one character they did not bring back in this fictional episode 1 of season 8. Well, they figured that they would leave him till later in the season. So presumably Odo is still with the founders, or the changelings, whatever you want to call them. Although, we have no way of knowing that for sure. We just know he's not on Deep Space Nine. I mean, if he is on Deep Space Nine, he had no, that would be really stupid, because he would have come over to see everybody if he was. John Araki says, which STD character dropped the first F-bomb in track? Tilly. Canowick says, Tilly, she has a sailor's mouth and is blank, I'm sold. Thomas Potts is saying, which is an Orville quiz. Thomas Potts says, for those of you who missed it, what did you already cut it out of? You did. View my quiz results. Here we go. Who is it? Thomas Potts. Fuck! Thomas Potts cut out the video. First like, Thomas. First like. Row Ada says, what a nice thought. STD will end someday. DJ says, watch Bird take the Orville quiz and still end up as Tilly. Bird needs to DMCA Thomas Potts. Wesley Crusher says, everyone still making fun of Bird getting the Tilly result. Thomas got Yaphet. Hector says, the quiz is legit then. John DeMarco says, I was Isaac, much more reliable results than I got from the Discovery quiz. Okay, yeah, I see, Sci-Fi Guy, the Orville. If I just turn this into a quiz night, then we're not going to talk about the Deep Space Nine documentary. But, I don't know, we are having fun doing quizzes, I suppose. Let's take a look at this quiz. Maybe it's not terribly long. It's a short quiz. Okay, good. It is a short quiz, so let's see. Fucking Tilly. Fucking Tilly. Quizfan.com. Which Orville character are you? Test now. Select a quote. Did you ever sit in your quarters and look out the window? There was an alligator in the cargo bay. I successfully crushed it with a chair. Hobo clowns are the most dangerous because they're hungry. I'm telling you, there's nothing human about this thing. I should have been able to snap him like a twig, but he was strong, those fangs. And Lieutenant Kitan has exercised a Directive 38 in the execution of this program. Wow. Hobo clowns. They're the most dangerous because they're hungry. Pick a vessel. These are so small, I can barely see what they are. Isn't this a Vulcan ship? I'm going to go with this Orville-looking heavy cruiser. Select a TV series. Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek TNG, Stargate SG-1. Oh, it's a tough one. SG-1. Great show, tons of seasons. What do you want to be able what do you want to be when you are an adult? Dancer, an athlete, an astronaut, a racing driver, or a goblin? How about none of the above? How about none of the above? I honestly don't know what to choose. I'm going to choose astronaut because maybe at one time I wanted to be a race car driver. As like a young kid, I had the Richard Petty number 43 NASCAR blue plastic toy. I used to drive it around, even though I never watched racing on TV. But I would go with astronaut, and I'd say that was a sucky question. People think you are intense and troubled. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty true. Extremely moral and polite. Yeah, people who know me. Stubborn but always doing the right thing. Yeah, that's probably. Completely loyal and trustworthy. Funny and attractive. Well, of course, that's how people know. Uh, I'm going to have to go with stubborn but doing the right thing, I think. I think most people I know would come to that consensus. What would you consider to be a weakness of yours? Oh, it's that I'm too good. I'm too perfect. Panicking under pressure. Seeming cold and cynical. Sometimes being a little self-obsessed. Being impatient and sometimes unsympathetic. Bottling up anger until it bursts out. I would say seeming cold and uncynical. Yeah. Your mood today: sad, mad, happy, funny, tired. I'm tired. Hey, I'm Ed Mercer. I'm Captain Mercer. Look, Admiral, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to serve on an exploratory vessel. And for you to put me in the captain's chair, yes, I'm ready. Very cool. I don't mind being Captain Mercer. I mean, we'll skip that night with Derulio, but other than that, solid choice. Much rather be in Ed than Tilly. Oh God, Tilly. DJ says he got it again, Wesley. Different quiz, same results. John DeMarco says it's a short quiz. Rose says I got Captain Mercer. Me too.
Is that computer?
What?
Beeping, it just,
I think it's a fan or something. John DeMarco says it was a short quiz. Rose says, is there a site where I can create my own quiz? I'm sure there has to be. Actor says, I hope Joe doesn't get a Mocklin. He doesn't like homo. Rose says, essay. DJ says, damn, I got Yaphet. Chief Cook says, what was the ship attack, Captain Nog and the Defiant? I don't want to give away those types of spoilers, Chief Cook, but for anybody who don't want to hear a spoiler, just turn it down. Turn down the audio for 10 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chief Cook, they said it was a Section 31 ship that was attacking Nog. Section 31. They'd found something out. I'm not going to get into details. Okay, you can turn up the volume again. You can turn it back to 11. We're back. John DeMarco says Goblin. John Street says Bird, we know you wanted to be a green-blooded hobgoblin. DJ says joke for Bird. What does Pink Floyd and Dale Earnhardt have in common? Their greatest hit was The Wall. Terrible. Terrible. Josh Street says, DJ, you worse than Bird with the bad jokes. And DJ says, thank you. Rose says they don't mention that time Mercer slept with a krill. Well, she was at least a hot human when it was. Ken Sabian says, Bird always says he loves shrimp on stream. Wesley got Ed as well. Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, so how long are we into this now? 118 minutes ago, so 2 hours. Chris specifically chose different answers to Bird and also got Mercer. Well, quiz scoring is a funny thing. The Deep Space Nine documentary. It hit theaters yesterday in the United States and Canada. I know Captain Foley saw it because I watched his review of it this morning. Of course, I had seen it 3 or 4 weeks ago when it first came out. I watched it again today. So I want to get into some of these spoilers. And again, at this point, if you have not seen it, but you intend to see it, and you don't want to know spoilers of a documentary, again, these are not going to be about the hypothetical Season 8, Episode 1. These are going to be like behind-the-scenes stuff they talked about in the documentary. If you don't want those spoilers, then I thank you so much for coming. But to please tune out now, because we're gonna get into some spoilers, behind the scenes stuff. Just some of the things that I found was most interesting. It's not a comprehensive review, just some things I wanted to bring up. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to tune out if you need to, or mute it, whatever you want to do. Okay, so one of the juicier things they talked about was why Jadzia Dax, Terry Farrell, left the show. Now, we always knew it was over some kind of contract dispute. But apparently what happened was season 6, at the end of season 6, the contracts were over. So they were renegotiating for the final season, season 7. And apparently a handful of, I guess, the second tier actors, I mean, I guess Cisco and some of the top tier, and probably Michael Dorn, maybe they had their own contracts, but a handful of other people got a take it or leave it offer, and she was kind of insulted by it, and she said something to someone, and I out of fear of naming the wrong person, I'm just not going to name who it was, although I believe they did say who it was in the documentary, or no, it wasn't said in the documentary who it was, but somebody found out who it was after the fact. But this person basically said, listen, you're lucky to have this job. If you don't have this job, you'd be a clerk in a Kmart, or you'd be working in a Kmart. And she was like, that's she figured that was enough. She couldn't take it, and she left. She left over that remark, because she thought she'd have a better time, in TV shows, outside of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That was, and you could tell, she was still pretty emotional about it. It was pretty upsetting. She felt like, and nobody believed it was true that she was actually leaving. They're like, yeah, they can't possibly be letting her leave. Like, they figured somebody was going to go after her. They couldn't believe this would actually be happening. At season 6, Dax was leaving the show just because of a contract issue. Like, just give her the extra $100 an episode or whatever it needs to be. I'm sure it was more than that, but just do something and get her back. No, they called her bluff, I guess, and she walked, and that was that, and that's how we ended up with Ezri. The biggest shocker in this documentary was Garrick. We got to talk about simple, plain Garrick. And let's go to the big screen. Let us go to the big screen. Because I have a video to pull up. Let's see if it will even work. Of course not. Of course not. Okay. Let's see. How are we going to do this? Let me, Okay, let's do this. There we go. We'll flip that. We will reduce the static because I want you guys to see a little bit of the scene. There we go. We got some static. And now I'm going to reduce my big head. Reduce my big head. How are we going to do that? Okay. So this is a scene. This is from episode 3 of season 1, past prologue. And this is where Garak and Dr. Bashir meet for the first time. And Garak is talking to him and he's saying, what's he saying? Oh, he's talking about he's a tailor and he's always interested in meeting new friends and having stimulating conversation. And he's like, I'd love nothing more than to sit down and eat with you, share a meal, and talk about things. And Bashir's like, you're a spy or something. And Garak's like, no, not me. I run a tailor shop. Anyway, Bashir's like all weirded out by it. He thinks Garak, I mean, at this point, nobody knows Garak's deal, okay? They all think, like, Garak has to be a spy or something. Anyway, Garak is just trying to talk to him. He's like, you know, he's flattering the doctor up, buttering it up a little, trying to make it all sound good. And Bashir's like, he's got a skadoodle. Let's skip ahead a little. Yeah, he's got Bashir all wound up. Skipping ahead a little bit more. Here's the scene. Garak is leaving and he's saying, you should come by the tailor shop sometime. There it is. Okay. So, yes. Didn't bring it up before, but let's get to Deep Space Nine. Oh shit! We need to bring up pause. I need to bring back up the static and stuff. You know what? We'll just pause it. We'll move around the documentary. Let's see. Anyway, so basically they say Garak was always supposed to be gay. Now I gotta be honest. When I watched Deep Space Nine the first time, I was, a teenager turning into an adult. Not even the slightest clue Garak could have been gay. It went right over my head. When I rewatched Deep Space Nine for the first time as an adult on Netflix, the first time I was like, holy shit. I was rewatching that episode. I remember rewatching that episode. And I'm like, that's pretty weird what Garak is doing. I'm like, that would kind of freak me out. I'm like, that's... I thought about it. He seems a little off there, and I for a minute I considered it. What if he was gay? But I was like, no, because I know later he has a relationship with ZL, and so obviously he's not gay. But thinking about it now, and after talking and hearing Ira Stephen Bear talk about it, and yeah, apparently they always intended for Garrick to be gay. It was that they were already pressing their luck with the network on what they could do. Like the network was pissed already that they had Cisco. The first 3 seasons, Cisco didn't have his goatee because the network was afraid of having a black actor on a Star Trek series in the future with facial hair. That somehow having facial hair on a black guy as one of the hopelessly outdated thinking of one of the Paramount people said, for lack of a better word, was too street. We know what that meant. And that's why they didn't want him to have the goatee and the shaved head. Even though that's exactly the image that Avery Brooks wanted. Avery Brooks wanted to look like that. That's how he looked like in the show or whatever when he played Hawk, which honestly I'd never heard of until more recently. I never knew of it before Deep Space Nine. And it's how he looks in American History X. He's got the shaved head and the goatee, because that is what Avery Brooks looks like. That's what Avery Brooks wants to look like. But they made him have a full head of hair and shave the beard to play this role for the first 3 years. And it was only with constantly pushing did they manage to get him to be able to look how he wanted to look. And they were going through, at one point in the documentary, they were going through a bunch of check marks. That's Cassidy Yates, who's now Dr. Finn, of course, on the Orville. They were going through a bunch of checklists. That was Quark, Grand Nagus, Michael Dorn, Worf, of course, Odo doing things. No, we don't want to skip that. Okay. Anyway, they were doing check marks about all the things they did, and they were talking about like racial, race, diversity, doing this, checking off a whole bunch of boxes. It's Nog. And they got to, homosexuality, and they were about to check it off because of the footage they did do. Oh, let's see if we can find that. They did HD Jadzia kissing that other woman alien, that other Trill. I don't remember where it is in here. I'll have to get it for one of the reviews. But of the 20 minutes of footage that they HD upconverted, that was one of it. That was one of the few scenes, which was a good call. But they said, they tackled it. And Ira Stephen Bear is like, you know what? I don't think we get a check mark. We could have done more. He should have pushed for Garrick to be gay. Wouldn't that have been great? All the stories they could have made with gay Garrick. Now, I don't know if Garrick needed to be gay or not. Honestly, he was pretty good as he was. I mean, like, again, the character was awesome. So any changes you make to him, would kind of annoy me now. I wouldn't risk it. But, and that's Garrick. That's Garrick now. Here is going to be the space battle comes up. The space battle scene. Now this scene is super. It's HD, and it's really, really cool. We'll get to it in a minute. I wouldn't change Garrick now after the fact, because he was a great character. Any change they made to him could have made him worse. But if Garrick was gay, that kind of answers a question as to perhaps why was his father maybe so disappointed in him? Why Why did they have this big rift between them? Because like I say, Garrick seems like a pretty competent assassin, mercenary, whatever he needed to be. It seemed like he'd do it without worrying about the moral outrage. So why would his father really treat him so badly if he was such a good operative, if he was such good at his job? Well, maybe Cardassians are not as opening and welcoming to homosexuals as 24th century humans are. So that would explain it. That would be a good explanation. So I kind of like that theory. And it also kind of explains, and although there was some subtext as to the relationship with Zial, I really don't want to think that it was sexual. I mean, I know we're supposed to think it is. But she was really pretty young, and he was really kind of old at that point. So I'm happy enough thinking that, maybe him and Zial, were just that weird father-daughter type relationship, and there really wasn't any hanky-panky going on, hopefully, between them. That, it was more like Garrick just wanted to talk with a Cardassian and a woman, and, they had stuff in common. So I'm okay with that. And there we go. Now, when you see this in actual HD, and I mean, this is just freaking amazing. Okay, I'm gonna move myself in the middle of it, just to obstruct your view more, so you can go ahead and find a copy, buy a copy when it comes out. But this is some good stuff. Got the Defiant, we got warships, we got the Klingons are coming, birds of prey coming down, blowing up. Oh yeah, oh my god, this is good stuff. I mean, this is the best few minutes they could have digitalized. And this is a space battle. This is a Star Trek space battle. Not that crap we saw. Oh, they're the birds of prey. There they are. Boom, 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 boom. This is what Star Trek space battles are about. Not that crap we saw in. Not that crap we saw in Discovery. Doesn't this Jem'Hadar's face? I saw this just today, and I had to look it up. Actually, I asked Mom to look it up because it was physical therapy. But looking at this guy's face, just right here, he looks so familiar. I could have sworn this was the same actor who played Clyden on the Orville, but as it turns out, it's not. Unless the actor changed his name. And of course I've forgotten both actors' names. But I thought they were Clyden. It's not Clyden. Just in case anyone else has that same thought. Come on, where is... Oh, they do talk about Far Beyond the Stars in this episode, in this documentary. They talk about how Cisco directed Far Beyond the Stars as well as acted in it. And the scene where he collapses when he has his not panic attack, his mental breakdown, and he collapses in the office, I guess, the office where they type, where they do the stories, and he just falls down, and when he realizes they're not publishing his story, that they decided to scrap the magazine that month, and he goes to the nut house. They said he was so into that scene that for like 10 minutes after the director called cut, he was still on the ground and like shaking, which is crazy. And then to hear about just the hours and hours. A lot of people say actors, they don't deserve the money they get. And I'll be honest, I think they probably don't either. At least most of them don't. But if these people are telling the truth, they're saying that when they were filming Deep Space Nine, the actors who had to be in makeup, like Odo, Quark, people who had Worf, people who had tons and tons of makeup, the top makeup people, they were literally working 16 hours a day. They would come in at 3 in the morning to get prepped for makeup, and makeup would take to like 9 a.m. and then they would start shooting and filming, and they would get home at, I don't know, like 10 p.m. after a long day of shooting, go to sleep, and wake up in a few hours and do it all over again 5 days a week or something, 6 days a week. Crazy. They said the actor who played Odo, they all said, the people who worked on him with them, they said Odo was the best, the actor was the best at taking care of his makeup. And he's like, what I did was I realized I couldn't eat solid food because he had like a full mask on over his skin. I mean, it was crazy. And he's like, I realized I couldn't eat solid food for lunch. And he was in this makeup for, 2/3 of the day. So he was on a liquid food diet for all the days he was recording. That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, I know these guys didn't become millionaires, billionaires. Certainly nobody became billionaires. But you know what? I mean, if you're honestly putting in 18-hour days, 16-hour days, even if it's 12-hour days, back to back, 5 or 6 days a week, and they were doing 26 episodes a year. Okay, not 10 episodes, right? They were doing 26 episodes a year. And Odo, or somebody like Odo, was in almost every single one. Worf was in like almost every single one once Worf got there. Quark was in almost every single one. That was crazy. That was crazy stuff. This was the woman this was a tape of her auditioning for Moogie. This is the woman that's under the Moogie costume. And in the audition, they had them wear the teeth because the teeth is going to be what they were going to sound like anyway. Might as well have them audition wearing the Ferengi teeth. So that was pretty interesting. And yeah, that chick is under that makeup, and she would have been all the ones that had to been there for like 6 hours before they started to get the makeup right. This is the actor who plays Rom, and he does a hell of a lot of singing throughout this documentary, and he's a good singer. He's a good singer. Bashir, who of course he was in a season of Game of Thrones, the Cisco. Don't look at that. There's Kira. That's aged Kira. And here she's on. There's Terry Farrell. There's Dax. Jadzia Dax. So I gotta be honest. You really gonna tell me? I don't know. I say Dax. I don't think either of them are terrible. But I mean, aged wise, I don't see any problem with Dax. And I really wouldn't say any problem with Kira except for the fact that she turned her hair white. And I think it's on purpose because you can see her roots are darker. And Ira Stephen Bear, I don't know what the hell he's doing with this purple beard. I think it's just somebody who needs attention. This is great. This was when Cisco and Vic Fontaine were singing The Best Is Yet to Come, which at the time was my very favorite Frank Sinatra song. The Best Is Yet to Come was my absolute favorite Frank Sinatra song at the time when this episode first aired. I remember it. It was crazy. It was like worlds colliding. Like, how did they know? How did my favorite television show know my favorite song and have these guys sing it so great? Best is yet to come. Come the day you're mine. They're saying James Darren, who's Vic Fontaine, they're saying he's pretty close to the character he plays. Come on, let's see that. Let's see that Jadzia alien kiss. I should have. Oh, they've got fans talk. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, did I miss it? I missed it. What's going on here? Oh, no. Oh, the fire pits. Here we go. Let's see, where are they? Where are they with the check marks? Okay, this is where they're debating this is it. This is where they're debating it. Hopefully it comes in here, or perhaps I missed it. Might have to back up some. He was trying to justify if they earned a check mark for dealing with homosexuality. Oh, there is a part, and I think this was a swipe at Discovery and Alex Kurtzman, where they talk about, we could use Section 31. They're like, yeah, Section 31 is ours. We made it. And then at one point they're like, we could do a whole show just about Section 31. And they would be far better off doing a show about Section 31 because they know how Section 31, they know how to treat Section 31. Not this bullshit that we're getting from Star Trek Discovery. Okay, then the kiss has already happened. Okay, let's fast forward it. That's what we'll do. How do we do that? I'll put my big head in the way. Okay, they gave a check mark. There we go. Money shot. They give themselves a check mark for a religion. 1 hour 33 minutes and 22 seconds. 1 hour 33 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay. There we go. I think I actually slowed it down a little. So they're talking about it. Let's go back one more time. Okay. Yeah, so this was some of the footage they up converted to HD. Good for them. Okay. Also another great thing in this documentary was that's too big. Was the actor who played Gul Dukat and the actress who played Kira, Nana Vista. It seemed like they seriously did not like each other. Well, no. Actually, it seemed like Gul Dukat, the actor who played Gul Dukat, seemed to have, be into Nana Vista a little too much. And Nana Vista didn't like him. Because at one point, they are interviewing these actors and actresses separately. So they're interviewing him, and he's like, oh, I really wish we could have done a different direction where Kira and Dukat could have had like a secret, steamy love affair. And he's like, because, Gul Dukat was a pretty sexy guy. And and then they go to Kira, and Kira. They go to Nana Vista, and she's on the couch with Terry Farrell with Dax. So Jadzia and Kira on the couch, and they're talking about Ducat, and Kira's like, that time I got all upset when you said I was going to have an affair with Ducat. And Iris even Bear says, I don't think I ever said that because we didn't write that. She's like, oh. She's like, oh, do you remember? And he's like, yeah, the episode, but I said it was going to be your mother. She's like, yeah, well, that's what you did. You came to me and said, don't worry, it's not you, it's your mother. And she said, that's good, because I would have said it could be any Cardassian. She said, if it wasn't going to be Odo, it could have been a Cardassian. She would have been okay with a Cardassian. She said, any Cardassian except, and she uses Gul Dukat's name, which his actor's name, which I'm sorry I forgot. But let's say his actor's name was James Smith. She says, anyone but James Smith. And then she caught herself, and she's like, I mean Gul Dukat. And they all realized that that was something, that she hit on something. And Dax is like, just re-say it, please. Redo the line. And Iris Stephen Bear is looking at her, laughing. Like, you could tell she let slip something. And so she re-says the line, anyone but Gul Dukat. But of course they left in both lines. And then Iris Stephen Bear looks at him and says, well, what if it was played by, James Smith, whatever the actor's name was, again. And they just break up laughing. And then they cut back to the Gul Dukat actor and said, why, did Kira say something about me? Blah, blah, blah. You could tell. He flat out said, he's like, it would have been easy for Dukat to be into Kira because I was into her at that time. He's like, I was really into her. And you could just tell. You could tell that there was some, she got a creepy vibe from him or something. And, I don't know what happened on the set, but it would seem like more probably happened than we was led on to. There is this annoying section where we get a bunch of SJW looking people tell us about how great Deep Space Nine was, which I'll take. I mean, Deep Space Nine was great. I hope that they wish they had gotten some more normal looking people to talk in this video, but I guess when the director has a purple beard, you're not going to find a lot of normal looking people in the video unless they can take it. And here is of course some file footage of Avery Brooks doing an old interview. And then there's a sad part at the end where they go through everyone who's been lost. The Admiral Ross, he had passed away. One of the head people. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I think this is it. In loving memory of the friends and not with us. And Cecily Adams, an actress. Majel Barrett, of course. Laxwana Troy. Jerry Bono, a costume designer. John Collix, an actor. Gary Herzl, visual effects supervisor. Barry Jenner, that's Admiral Ross. Joe Longo, property master. Brock Peters, that's obviously Captain Sisko's father. And Michael Piller, that was the guy. I think he was the co-showrunner or something at the show. And that's it. I mean, and then there's a lot of singing, like the whole ending credits is hilarious. Well, before the ending credits, these four guys they sing, and again we've got this guy is Damar, Wayun, Quark, and Rom. And they're pretty good. They got pretty good singing voices. Anyway, through the credits, we have... these are the backers' names. These are the backers' names. These are the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, and they go on like that. Here they're talking about... Kira's like, how come How come we didn't do In a Pale Moonlight? How could we do this whole documentary without a pale moonlight? And Ira is like, In a Pale Moonlight, it was in, it was out, it was in, it was out. He's like, check the special features. So basically, they're going to have more footage from In a Pale Moonlight in the special features when the Blu-rays come, which will be cool. Also, Trials and Tribulations wasn't mentioned in the documentary until the credits. So they're like, well, stay tuned. That should also be in the... They're like, Trials and Tribulations was in, Trials and Tribulations was out. That will be in the... that'll be in the extras too. So that's really cool. I'm hoping there's even more. He just said, yes, I could live with that decision, just like Cisco said at the end of In a Pale Moonlight. So that's looking forward to. Oh, Duet. Yeah, Kira's also saying, how's that there's nothing about Duet? And he's like, it's Kira, I had to make choices. If we put in all this stuff, it would have been 8 hours long. And he says that like it's a bad thing, and I agree with Kira. So it was 8 hours long. There's some good. These credits are hilarious. I mean, it is worth watching, 100% worth watching. Oh, and here Kira is like, Ira is like, I don't know who started it, but they're like, what about that time? Ira's like, what about that time we put Keiko's baby in your belly just to justify your real life pregnancy? And then Kira comes back and is like, yeah, whose idea was that? Oh, it was your wife's idea, wasn't it? And she's like, why isn't your wife in this? And they gave a picture of his wife to just give her the credit for the credit. That was her. Apparently it was her idea. And how were they going to, have shoot around Kira being pregnant? And the wife thought up of, why don't you just move Keiko's baby into Kira? And going through the characters, the mirror universe, her marriage to Bashir, and they're talking some more. Oh, did the D's come already? Yeah, well. Okay, but this is it. She's like, she whispers to him, and she's like, but Ira, what about the very best episode of Deep Space Nine? He's like, what's the very best episode of Deep Space Nine? She whispers in his ear, and he says, you're right. And he says, okay. And I think this is what he's saying now. Play the clips play the clip of the very best episode of Deep Space Nine. And it's Move Along Home. It's Move Along Home. That was hilarious. I broke out laughing at that point. Okay, so there we go. That's basically where we got it. Let's get it. There we go. There's a good shot. That's a good shot. I'll put that up. We'll go back to the cockpit and the bridge. And Jesus, how many comments do we have back now? Let's see. Where are we? See, it's a little tired. I couldn't read comments and do the video and watch what was going on screen at the same time. DJ says it's officially a bird stream. More likes than watching. Yay. John DeMarco says that's the power of math, people. Thank you, John. Wesley Crusher says, well, have to get back to work later, everyone. Take care, Wesley. Try not to get abducted by any traveling aliens. DJ Odyssey says, see ya, Wesley. Thomas Potts says, WTF does DJ singing in the shower video keep showing up on YouTube suggestions? DJ is laughing. Rose says that's pretty bad after 6 years of service. What? Keno Xavian says Garrick would be a great character for a straight-to-DVD movie set in the Track universe. Garrick would be a great character for a CBS All Access series. Dale Stafford says, hello, all your legends. DJ says, hail Dale. Kennewick says, welcome. Bird is sharing some light spoilers. Dale says, I'm glad he's talking about this. I thought it was pretty surprising in the doc. Sci-Fi guy says hello to Dale. Howdy. Okay, we're gonna skip in the hellos and the goodbyes. No offenses to anybody. Thomas Potts says Kira and Ducat romance would have been better. But I don't know I could have believed it. I mean, maybe, that one time they had like a one-time encounter. But it certainly wouldn't have been believable as a secret love affair, ongoing relationship. Dale says the people universally love this doc. I really liked a few moments of the remastered space stuff. Yeah, I mean, there were parts of it that weren't perfect. I think a lot of people are saying it was super, super great. Because, listen, we have so few real track to hang on to. There were parts of this that was like, there were the SJW parts, Oh, now I hear what Mom was hearing. It was the Kerbal Space Program music. Slightly playing in the background. Yeah, there were parts I was like, I don't need to see this. There's this young girl that they interview a couple of times and they're asking questions. And it is quite obvious she is reading the answers from a stage cue card off camera or something. I don't know why they needed to put this little girl into the show, into the movie. It was totally, no offense to this little girl, but it was a detraction from the entire thing. Dale says, surprised me no one made Ira shave the purple goatee. Well, it's kind of his project, so. John DeMarco says, Garrick was an awesome character just the way he was. I agree, John. And John DeMarco says, for what it's worth, Andrew Robinson wrote a novel after DS9 about Garrick's life, and the character was definitely straight. Wow, that's interesting. John DeMarco says, real Klingons. Dale Stafford says, I don't know why Ira thinks it would have added so much to Garrick's character to be gay. He was one of the most interesting and enigmatic characters on the show. That's true. Dale says, 30 seconds of space stuff. Chris says, well, I'm sure we can agree that some actors haven't earned their keep. A certain cheese springs to mind. Dale says, I was invited to a sneak preview movie tomorrow night starring that cheese actress. Interesting. Row Ada. Would it be a French cheese? Usually in a wheel. Row Ada says, gotta transport. Thanks for the quizzes. Thank you, Row. Have a good night. And Chris says to Dale Stafford, well, so long as you don't have to pay. So long as you don't have to pay. The commander is saying, hey guys, Commander Ironwolf. Welcome, Commander Ironwolf. Thomas Potts says 2 people played Moogie. Really? They didn't mention that. I don't think they did. Did they? Chris Purse says, good night, Row. Kennewick says the aged Kira looks like Elon Musk's mom. I have no idea what Elon Musk's mom looks like. Sci-Fi guy and later. Commander Ironwolf says, what the F are we watching? We're watching some clips from the Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind. DJ says, yes, Kira is still hotter. Dale says, in her and Jamie Foxx in some kind of historical drama. I'm hoping that that's all just a cover and it's really the next Star Wars movie. The movie is supposedly called Just Mercy. John DeMarco says, wow, Kira looks old with that hair. Yeah, she definitely does. Commander Ironwolf says, what's going on? Why is that Kira old? Well, they went to the future. Dale Stafford says, Kira probably looks the best of all of them. Dr. Bashir is shocking. Terry Farrell looks good. Commander Iron Wolf, I'm still confused. What's going on? Nobody's answering me. John DeMarco says DS9 documentary. Josh, is it me or is it since Bird hit 600 stubs, he stays up past 10 p.m. his time? Don't get me started. I am so tired and so hungry right now. The problem was I used to get physical therapies in the morning, but due to insurance reasons and bullshit and all the type of crap, thanks Obama, that we have to deal with, they had to stop coming. So I had to go back to private paying, which is costing me an arm and a leg, and this guy comes at night between 5 and 6 p.m. So when I usually would have started the stream at maybe 4 or 5 p.m., I can't start the stream until after he's done and gone, which is usually after 7 p.m. So like today, I didn't get started till 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock, and so I'm up later. So kind of sucks. And I mean, I get a better audience. Don't get me wrong. We got 18 people still here, which is excellent because, you know, I'd probably get half that, 3 hours earlier. But it's playing hell on my body, I gotta say. It is hell on me. Maybe I can make it the new normal. I don't know. Keno Exapian says DS9 documentary, What We Left Behind, light spoilers. Dale says Commander Iron Wolf Bird of Prey is talking about Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind. It was filmed over the past 5 years or so, and they kept going, doing Indiegogo campaigns. DJ says Iron Wolf, he's reviewing the DS9 doc. Kennewick says Bird is being inspired by Doomcock, 9-hour stream tonight. Not gonna happen. Oh my god, Doomcock in that 7.5-hour stream. Commander Iron Wolf says, oh, DS9 documentary, that makes a lot more sense. Richie Poole says, hello everyone, welcome Richie Poole. Richie Poole says, What We Left Behind was a great documentary, is a great documentary. Dale says, I don't feel like they delivered on what they promised, and all the credits joked about how they should have included Trials and Tribulations, Pale Moonlight, and a lot of what we should have done. Well, I took it to mean that stuff was going to be in the Blu-ray, in the extra. Certainly in the Pale Moonlight. I think Trials and Tribulations as well. Commander Iron Wolf says, where's the best place to watch a DS9 documentary? Too late. It's too late. Unless you're in a foreign country that might have a screening, you basically got to wait until it comes out on DVD, Blu-ray, which, according to a screenshot from Thomas Potts, from an anonymous source, is going to be August 6th. August 6th. Richie Poole says it would have been 8 hours long. Ozzy NF says lesbians, yes. Dale says they could have showed a lot more of that stuff and a lot less boring stuff of the writers talking. I love the writers talking. That post-credit scene was torture when they could have included the stuff they filmed. I love the post-credit scene. I don't know, Dale. I thought those things were pretty good. Richie Poole says Nana didn't see anything wrong with it being 8 hours long. Neither did I. Kennewick says Terry Farrell looks like Terry Hatcher. Commander Iron Wolf says lesbians in HD are the best. Commander Iron Wolf, too bad they're wearing their clothes. Sci-Fi Guy says Commander Iron Wolf, right now it's in theaters. It actually was only in theaters for 1 day. Richie Poole says Nana Vista. Dale Stafford says, I don't trust anybody that wears a hat and sunglasses inside all the time. Anyone else talked gentlemen take off their hats when they come inside? Hey, it's weird. Your beard matches your shirt. It's weird when your beard matches your shirt. Richie Poole says that blue beard is what's weird. Dale says, Sci-Fi Guy, just think that was just one night. Yeah, one night only. Dale Stafford, nobody knows what he looks like because he wears a costume in real life. Untrustworthy. John DeMarco says Mark Alamo. Sci-Fi Guy says, thanks, Dale Stafford, for the correction. DJ says, I've seen plenty of pics of Mark Alamo without makeup. Dale Stafford says, sci-fi guy, that's just what I think. At least in the U.S., if someone else knows different. I've said all I know. John DeMarco says, no wonder Alamo played the creepiness so well. Oh, that's Ducat. DJ says he was in Total Recall. Commander Armwolf says DS9 out of all the Star Trek series promoted capitalism the best. True. Recall says DJ. Dale says Alamo is great. DJ says Baltar. Oh yes, from of course the Cylon thing. Battlestar Galactica. Original Baltar equals Joan Kolex. Klingons from TOS 2. Garrick was the best Cardassian. Love John Kolos, Anna Brockway. YouTube link. I'll open it, but I won't be able to watch it till later. What is it? Let's see. Avery Brooks explains why SJW. Yes, I've already seen that. It's already got my thumbs up, that video. It's hard right now, I gotta say. I'm pushing through, but I'm not. Well, no, Richie Poole. I'm on a different list. I didn't pay the extra $25 to get my name in the movie. I'm on a list that's on the website, but someone else with my same last name is on that list. So I was looking out for it, but I missed it. DJ says, can't believe Bird didn't recognize Commander Core in the memorial. Sorry. Richie Poole says it was great seeing it on the big screen yesterday. Bring on the 8-hour documentary, says John DeMarco. Dale says you have 2 minutes of space scenes were incredible on the big screen. Being dwarfed by a space station was pretty incredible. Definitely stands up. Commander Ironwolf says rewatching Star Trek Enterprise and realizing that most episodes in the first season have cameo guest appearances from people in Deep Space Nine. In the Pool, Pale Moonlight was the best episode, says Commander Ironwolf. John DeMarco says, move along home. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make it to Kerbal Space Program tonight. I am sorry, guys. I am tired. It is hitting me hard. Mom O'Pre's well asleep. I'm going to have to cut it short tonight, guys. I apologize. I hope you enjoy the stream. I really do. Tomorrow we'll be back for Nice City Skylines, and we'll go from there. I am sorry. It is just too late, and I need to eat something. So thank you guys so much. 600. We're going to get to 700, 800, 900, 1,000, and beyond. I appreciate all you guys so much. Kupsla, good night, and yeah, this one. Wow, this one was trying. On to 6,000, says Kennewick. Indeed. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Commander. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everyone. John, Thomas, all of you, DJ, Multi-Gunman. You are all welcome. John Iraqi. Kapla. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. If you want to visit me, check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. And if you're really crazy, you can send me some money on PayPal. Take care.